It's been a full week since I've played this game, and actually I haven't. Usually I buy the battle pass. I actually haven't even bought the battle pass. I've just been giving this game a break. I do love this game, I really do, but I've just kind of gotten into a habit of letting stuff pile up. Like I legit still have to do the after story for what's his face. I have all these to do. I don't even think I've opened. I know there's a new area, I believe. There is. I haven't even done this new area yet. I haven't even opened it up. Usually I open it. I don't even think I've done the, what is it? I don't even think I've done the daily card, people. I do love this game, but I have been giving it, a break as of late, just to let stuff pile up so I have more content to do, because I used to just grind it all, and also I just, you know, it's been a struggle. But anyway, we're back.
Yelan
And
said the strange tomb is coming from around here, right?
I haven't seen anything on this, but from what I know, my theory about Ganyu being I might be wrong about it, because I thought about it some more. I have seen a few things online from some I have seen like where all the characters are going to be sitting after the end, and I've seen some unusual stuff. So I don't really know what happens or anything, but I don't know if it's Ganyu anymore. So maybe my theory was out of line. But we're still trying to Rizz her up regardless.
Seem to be a soul in...
I was just wondering who in their right mind
Let's
would come out to a place like
go!
this.
Hold on, we gotta
So,
Rizz her too.
It's you two.
Yelan! How'd you sneak up on us like that? You nearly gave Paimon a heart attack!
It's Yelan.
You look pretty alive to me. Can't have spooked you that bad.
Let's go.
Fair enough.
Ah, you're here for that too? Saves me a bit of explaining.
Nice.
Come with me. I've already reconned the perimeter, so we should be safe.
About to Rizz up Yelan, bro. We got Yelan here. Alright, let's see what we got going.
The stuff by the door is in pretty good condition, though. It can't have been too long ago that someone was last living here.
Hasn't this place always been here?
This place is completely empty. There's nothing valuable left here at all.
I can't see in there, Paimon.
The doors and the windows are all fine, so there definitely wasn't a break-in.
Yelan!
How strange. It looks like it's been looted, except for the fact that there's no sign of a struggle. The bad guys could have sneaked in while the owner was gone, but then how do you explain why the door and windows are intact?
Also, I've kind of forgotten
Seems you've done a pretty thorough inspection.
the first part.
So, any theories on what might have happened here?
Yelan, you didn't hide some of the evidence from us on purpose, did you?
Why would I make this more difficult for you? We're on the same side here.
Let's go.
Okay, well... Paimon gives up then. Paimon's got nothing.
What about you? Give up as well? Your instincts are pretty good. Or perhaps it's not instinct. The strange melody is one of the few pieces of information you have available, after all. Let me share a folk story with you. A long time ago, there used to be a group of bandits in the Liyue countryside who would sound a horn every time they were about to raid a village. But it wasn't a rallying cry to rouse their fellow men. It was a disconcerting tune, meant to intimidate the weak and warn them of their impending doom. To escape with their lives, the villagers would abandon their homes and flee overnight, taking only their most valuable belongings with them. Everything else was left behind. The bandits were eventually brought to justice, but the fear and trauma remained in the villagers' hearts. Whenever they heard that melody, they would feel like their lives were in danger once again, and flee immediately. The culprit of this crime exploited that very fear to get access to this house without having to force their way in.
That's quite the story.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I just
The
tuned
victims
all of that
obviously will
out.
have gotten quite a fright, but at least they won't be in any great danger.
Okay, so allow me to explain. First of all, since it's been a week, I've forgotten everything that was going on before. I just remember Ganyu was there. We were trying to Rizz her up. Paimon wasn't doing it for me. She was freaking doing. And then Kuchin came, and they're trying to prepare for a music festival in Lantern Rite. That's what I think I remember. Everything she just explained, I tuned it out. I'm not going to lie to you. So I was up till like 4 a.m. last night playing Persona 5 Royal, trying to finish it because I was on the last stretch. So I woke up this morning about like 9-ish, and I drank an energy drink first thing in the morning because I had to go to church. So I went to church, and I'm like it's the Sonic Peach rings, so it creates focus because it's G Fuel. And because of that and my ADHD, it is interfering so bad. So I was literally staring at the screen. I think I was just looking at Yelan's design, and then I just thought, then my mind went blank. I tuned all of that out. I don't know. So if I get quiet at sometimes, or I say I'm confused, that is why I'm still spiked on this drink, and I cannot pay attention for crap. Anyway, I'm gonna stop. We get it.
The important thing now is to find this copycat criminal.
Alright, elemental
On any
sight.
other day, that'd probably be a good idea. Unfortunately, it's not gonna work today.
Does she
Take a look
know
around and you'll see
about
what I mean.
our elemental sight?
This criminal is clearly well versed both in using music to commit crimes and in making a clean getaway. Not only did they stay off the muddy road to avoid leaving footprints, it looks like they were also careful not to bring any gadgets with so much as a trace of elemental energy. Evidently, they were intent on keeping even the most experienced investigators off their trail. Unfortunately for them, I'm one of the best trackers in the business. They're not about to get away with their little scheme.
I love Yelan, man. She's so good. She's awesome.
Basically, if we want to find the culprit, we just need to follow Yelan.
Frig, yeah, I'll follow Yelan. Alright, so we got 2 objectives this Lantern Rite. We're going to be rizzing up Ganyu, and we're going to be rizzing up Yelan. I think that's going to be the objective.
As long as you can keep up. Since the culprit's trying to be cautious and low risk, I'll bet they left through an area with some vegetation for cover, but not so much that it would slow them down.
Two Yelans! Alright, anyway.
Here, look at this. These tracks are superficial, but they definitely didn't occur naturally. Something heavy was being dragged this way, meaning we're headed in the right direction.
I thought it was worth a shot, I'm not gonna lie. Her jacket thing is so cool.
Their pace is increased. Normally, people carrying a heavy load slow down as their journey goes on and they start to tire. Whatever's motivating them to speed up must be psychological. For instance, reaching the home stretch.
Again, and so close to Lantern Rite too. 'Tis not the season for their antics.
It's not
Come
Christmas.
on, let's round them up.
Bro, I love her, man. She's so cool. Yelan is definitely... A lot of the leeway characters in this game are really, really cool, to be honest with you. Are really, really cool. Yelan, Beidou, Ningguang's pretty cool. She's pretty cool. Ganyu, of course. She's definitely... She's got a lot of lore.
Hey, who are you? Where did you come from?
I'm your mom.
The evidence is conclusive. Okay, confess and we'll go easy on you. My patience is running low, so why don't you do us both a favor,
You kidding me? You think I'm scared of you?
Should be. You should be.
Perhaps not, but you should be.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying! Ah! Torture!
Curses. Seems Looks like you're not all talk after all.
Of course I'm
Going
not on
back
top.
now. Better up.
I'm Yelan. Get out of here.
Mercy! Have mercy!
Oh, it's a little late for that. I've come this far, I might as well finish the job.
I surrender! I surrender, please! I'll do whatever you say. Please have mercy.
Tell us everything. You have one chance, and I'm warning you. Don't make me ask twice.
I won't, I swear.
Okay.
You know, so...
This is a good
Lantern
day for
Rite's nearly
Genshin.
here, and like a lot of people, I wanted to buy a few nice things. I know I'm with the treasure hoarders and everything, but I don't really have any kind of experience with robbing people and whatnot. So I don't have the guts to break into somebody's house.
Wow, you're really going to complain to us about that?
No, not at all. I'm just telling it how it is.
Okay, continue.
I racked my brains trying to think of what I could do, and eventually, I remembered something from back when I was a kid. The bandits would blow their horn, and my grandma would grab us kids and run. I remember the tune, so I figured I'd try it for myself. I mean, just to see what would happen. At first, anyway, I seriously didn't expect that family to pack up and leave. But they did, and they just left all their stuff right there for the taking. It was too easy, I couldn't resist. It was completely wrong of me, I know that now. I'll return everything that I took. It's all still in perfect condition, and it'll be like it was never gone. Please, give me a chance, huh? Let me make it right.
Give you a chance, huh? Sounds to me like you'd rather strike some kind of a deal than spend Lantern Rite behind bars.
Yes? Yes?
You know how to bargain.
Bro's like, I gotta
I'll
rizz
give
her
you
up.
that.
Bro's like, I gotta
It's
rizz
just
her
a
up.
pity that you didn't confess at the first opportunity. You'll have to take a walk with me.
Oh,
Once we've returned the goods, we'll find the owner of the house, and you can apologize to them in person. After that, I'll escort you to the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, as a former victim of this kind of crime yourself, I doubt anyone understands the fear you inflicted quite as well as you do. Does your greed matter more to you than your fear? More to the point, if you can play a tune from memory, don't you think you should be capable of making an honest living?
the lip syncing.
You mean...
Do they do it for the Japanese or the Chinese dub?
That's enough hints for you. You'll have
I know
plenty
it's
of time
never
to
English,
reflect
so it
on
doesn't
all of
really
this
matter.
yourself. There's not much left to wrap up, so I'll take it from here. Guess this is where I'll say goodbye.
Well done, Yelan.
What is it? Is there something else?
I'm still not sure how you first got your hands on this information, so play it safe when you get back. Don't mention to anyone that you ran into me out here. You helped a lot with the investigation and arrest anyway, so
Whoa!
it's perfectly fair for you to get all the credit. Just take it. It works better for me, too. See you when I see you, and happy Lantern Rite.
Yelan's such a pro at this. With her taking it from here, it's as good as resolved. Whoosh! Random event, a strange melody, complete. Although, it's kind of a shame that we never got that treasure hoarder guy to play the melody again. 'Cause Paimon's curious, that's why. It's like when you have a tune stuck in your head, but you don't even know what it is. It's driving Paimon crazy. When we were chatting with Mr. Dvorak, music seemed like such a positive thing. And most music is, right? It can help us relax, feel all warm and fuzzy, recall happy memories, or even just think happy thoughts. Paimon never imagined that music could be used to commit crimes. Oh, really? Huh. Makes sense. Paimon's musical understanding improves again. Well, anyway, now that everything's resolved, let's get back to Liyue Harbor. Byron's still waiting for us with our random event rewards.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but bro, the things I would do to have hair, like the Traveler, Aether, bro, his hair is so cool. I don't know what it is about that like long braid, but it's so cool. It's so cool. Let's just do this and jump down. Yo, Ganyu better be here. If she's not here, I'm gonna be very, very mad. She's not. Frick.
Byron, we're back! Everything's all sorted!
That's great news. Oh, please wait here a moment if you would be so kind. Lady Ningguang instructed me to advise her upon your return.
Oh, we about to see Ningguang. She don't have the dress
My
on.
greetings to both of you.
She
Long
doesn't.
time no see.
Dang, they should have put her in the dress again.
No need to be so formal with us, Ningguang. We've known each other for a long time now. You must be super busy with all the preparations for Lantern Rite. Don't mind us.
On the contrary, I think it is those that I have known longest to whom I should extend the greatest courtesies. Alas, on a different day, I would invite both of you inside for some tea and
Her
a brief respite from your
VA
travels.
sounds very
But
different.
you're quite right. Trivial matters aside, there's no escaping the fact that we have a grand concert to organize. Once the performance itself is over, we'll then need to invite the representatives of the Iridescence Tour for a discussion on future collaboration opportunities. The financing arrangements alone could well entail many rounds of discussion.
It's like, it feels like her VA got more confident, maybe. Like, I'm not saying she was inconfident before, or what, but I feel like, because before when we would talk to Ningguang, her voice was very low, so her voice sounds very low, higher. Maybe that's why I think it's a different VA. I don't think it is a different VA. It might be the same one. She's just talking in like a higher tone, so she sounds different.
Simply put, there will always be work to do.
Whoa, you're already thinking that far ahead?
Well, we can discuss more current affairs if you
Can we get the
prefer.
Beto lore
I
behind
trust
this?
you
Can
saw
we
this
just
year's moonshine
reveal that they're
lantern at the docks
sisters?
when you arrived at the city?
Yeah, it looked like a goose. Which adeptus is it modeled on this time?
Sea Gazer. I believe you're familiar with the name. Legend holds that he was free-spirited and easygoing. People described him as a cheerful soul and a loyal friend. On this marvelous Lantern Rite, we pray that the fallen heroes may be guided home. If the sound of music can flow like the rivers and streams into every corner of the land, perhaps the souls of those who have gone before us will hear the song of a new era. I wondered whether the melodies will be to their liking.
Oh, they're gonna love them. I'm sure of it. At least, if the guy you mentioned is anything to go by, the Adepti and Heroes of the Past sound like a positive and free-spirited, cheerful bunch. They're sure to be open to new music.
Well, let's hope so. I heard that you'll be going on a search with Ganyu to find the
Let's
descendants
go.
of a fairy lady from a Fontaine legend. I'm sure this quest to uncover the truth behind an ancient story will turn into a most charming tale. Do share it with me, won't you? I couldn't bear to miss out.
Sorry about that. Oh, we unlocked the events! Alright, I think what we're gonna do is we're just gonna grind all these, it looks like. Oh, Yelan. Shinha! Is that Shinha? Okay, Yunjin, Yao Yao, Yelan. Who's that? That looks like...
Greetings,
we're back,
traveler
we're back, we're
Yelan.
grinding Rizz. Alright, I did all the events, I just
What
grinded them
time is
all
it?
out, so I've been waiting, so here we go. Oh, she was napping, bro. We better
Are
Rizz
you
her up. Let's
okay,
do this.
Ganyu? You were nodding off there. Didn't you sleep well last night?
I'm fine.
I can
Don't
really
worry
Ganyu,
about
don't
me.
worry about it.
Let's discuss the matter at hand. Since last time, I've been thinking a lot about the story Paimon told me. In essence, someone rescued a drowning man and performed some music. If that were all there was to it, it could have been many people, human or adeptus. But the tune was allegedly so wonderful that the drowning man forgot about everything else even his own impending death, and only came to his senses after being brought to shore. Perhaps there was an adeptal power at work in that music that he, as a mortal, could not perceive. Or perhaps he sensed a power surrounding him but lacked the words to describe it, not knowing where it came from. Either way, if this part of the story is true, then the rescuer has to have been an adeptus.
You really think so? But this story is all the way from Fontaine. Isn't this a bit of a long shot? Also, Paimon's really curious about how people from Fontaine think this fairy lady looked.
Maybe they gave her
Then
horns.
she looked just like Ganyu. Guess that does technically make sense. Actually, Ganyu, if you had to save a drowning person, how would you go about it?
Huh? Me? Well, I'd get them to the shore, and then I'd probably hide behind a tree and watch them for a while.
Once
I
no, wait,
was
she
sure
might be
that
the
they were
one.
going to be okay, I'd slip away without a sound.
So cute.
Got it. So basically, Ganyu's the type of person who doesn't like taking credit for her good deeds.
No, it's not like that.
Oh, she
I'm
ignored
just
my
not very
Rizz,
good at
bro.
explaining things. And I also find it really awkward accepting other people's gratitude.
Well, what if this adeptus in the story had a similar attitude? That would explain why she just left without saying a word.
Yes, it is her.
She was
Maybe it
probably
is her.
thinking something like, one was merely passing by and saw fit to address this egregious disruption to one's graceful zithering at once. You may keep your thanks to yourself.
That was actually a very good impression of Cloud Retainer, Paimon. As
Dang.
far as I'm aware, Cloud Retainer
Paimon,
isn't the
you're
most
ruining my
musically
game.
gifted. Still, we can't completely rule her out just yet. If we set off now, we could head to Mount Outsung and ask her about it. You'll be able to confirm either way if it's her, and I can, I've been in Lea Harbor for so long now that I'm just not as familiar with the Adepti anymore. If there's anything we want to know about them, she's the best person to ask.
Sounds great! And we're pretty close with Cloud Retainer by now, so we probably don't even need to bring her food this time, right?
I've prepared a gift for her to mark the festival, just in case. However,
You still have some reservations.
Cloud Retainer spends most of her days studying mechanisms in her abode. She's on her own so much of the time that the moment she has someone to chat with, she just... Never mind. I promised I'd help Mr. Dvorak, and now that I've made the contract, I can't be having second thoughts.
Let's go. Ganyu's the best,
Traveler?
bro. Oh man, this game
Paimon?
time's so good.
Let's set off for Cloud Retainer's abode.
Sir. Let's.
Seems like this is a tough decision for Ganyu, but she's made up her mind now. Paimon gets why she'd be so anxious. Okay, how about this? If Cloud Retainer tries to start telling stories about her again this year, we should pipe up and change the topic. Wait, did she leave already? Hey, Ganyu, wait up!
I want to hear all the stories. Let's do this. All right. So I already went ahead and I grinded all the events off camera because I did not want y'all to have to sit through all that because I obviously waited. So we're gonna go ahead and do all this. Also, I opened up this place in the map. I don't know how to open this. I'm guessing it's one of those side quests, but dude, this is quite literally Desert Chasm. Why do they have to make something like this all the daggum time? Why do they gotta make another ruined machine? There's two more. Okay, nice. But yeah, like, why do they gotta make so now we've got Desert Chasm, Onkonomiya, and Watatsumi Island. That's crazy, bro. We got three things that obviously this one's a lot bigger though, but holy crap. Anyway, getting sidetracked. Okay. Oh, I was Ganyu earlier for the combat challenges. Let me just switch. Not gonna let y'all see my wailing. I say wailing, but I haven't even. So I wanted to pull for Al Hatham, But low-key, I might not. I'm genuinely waiting for the Eula rerun and the Shenhe rerun. I don't want another Shenhe. I'm fine. I just want to see her get a rerun because she hasn't gotten one yet out of every other character. Why am I climbing so high if I don't need to do that? But yeah, I'm ready for that Eula rerun. I'm trying to get another constellation on her. I want her C2, but you know, we can get her to C4 too. That would also be great because her. Please. Okay. I thought I was gonna drown. Sick. So good. All right, let's do this, Ganyu. About to Rizz up Ganyu.
I'm so tired from trying to keep up. Don't either of you
Dude,
need
you
to
just
take
fly.
any
I can't believe it. Cloud Retainer is not here.
Huh? Did we miss her?
She doesn't like to travel, so in the past, it's always been the other Adepti who come to visit her during the festivals.
Could she have run into trouble?
Somehow Paimon doubts that anything could cause serious trouble for her.
True. Now that I think about it, Cloud Retainer would be quite capable of taking care of anything on her own. There's no need to worry about her. Since she's not here, I guess the next step is to check all the other Adepti abodes, one by one.
Oh, great.
Uh-oh. Will it involve a lot more traveling? Got it! Paimon has a great idea!
Please go on, Paimon.
Our goal here is to find the adeptus that helped Dvorak's ancestor, right? We can't hear any music right now, but if she's really as nice as the story suggests, she'd definitely come to help anyone who was drowning, right?
Bruh.
Yes, I
Sister
think
and
that's
Paimon.
fair to say.
So, all we have to do is get the traveler to pretend to fall into the water, and the adeptus will come
Bruh.
to the rescue.
I knew it. Let's just
You
drown
know
Paimon.
perfectly well that Paimon can't swim. Paimon would sink like a rock.
Exactly. I just think it's a bad
Trust
idea.
Paimon. The water's pretty deep over there. Quick, swim to the very center. Help! Help! Someone's drowning! If only there was a kind-hearted adeptus here to save us! Oh no! Whatever will a Paimon do?
Bruh.
What is going on?
Oh, it's Xiao. Shinha's here too, I told you!
How do you feel right now?
Wait.
Shenhe, and the Conqueror of Demons.
Ganyu.
Why don't you say something? Please don't make Paimon explain
What?
it.
They both appear? How fast do they do that, bro? That's lightning speed. Okay, Xiao can teleport. That's different. But Shinha?
We're
That
looking
was
for an
quick.
adeptus who's good at being a lifeguard and playing music. But if the adepti aren't gonna stay home, then how are we supposed to find them?
Shinha, bro.
It wasn't
Dang.
me.
That's our bodyguard. He said it
Yeah,
wasn't
so
me.
This adeptus is most likely a woman.
And I am not an adeptus, as you both already know, Traveler and Paimon.
Let's go. But Shinha showed up. I'm glad she showed up.
Okay, so this is Paimon's fault. No way Paimon would have suggested this idea if she'd known how awkward this was gonna be.
Sorry for troubling you both.
Glad you're okay.
He's about to teleport away. You're leaving
As
already?
far as I know, the one you seek is no Yaksha. And one last thing. Your actions here caused others a great deal of worry. Do not repeat them again in the future.
I wasn't really planning on it, but alright.
As ever, the Conqueror of Demons comes and goes, just like the wind.
How'd you
Right.
get here so quick, Shinha? Were
I
you following
didn't
us?
dare to say a word just now. How's
She's so
your
scared of
training
him.
going, Shenhe? Have you made any plans for Lantern Rite? We could spend it together in Liyue Harbor if you'd like.
Go on, you, man. She's so
I
cute.
had planned to spend the festival with Master this year. However,
Oh, speaking of Cloud Retainer, when did you see her last?
Earlier this morning, she set off for Mount Hulao at dawn. I noticed she was using an adeptus art of some kind to protect a mechanism that looked like a boiler. Maybe it was a gift for Mountain Shaper. I did not inquire.
So we just missed her. Please excuse me for a moment. I think I'll leave the gift in her abode.
Sure. Thank you.
It sounds like Ganyu and Shenhe have gotten a lot closer recently.
Let's go,
Yes.
W.
During the summer and winter, I continued to train with Master. In the other months of the year, I have been learning to adapt to human life in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu arranged accommodations for me in the city, and also recommended several work positions for me. But when I try to blend in by referring to her as Miss Ganyu or Lady Ganyu, like the others, she says I mustn't address her like that. Sometimes I'm supposed to copy other people. Sometimes I'm not. It's a little difficult to keep track of everything.
Ganyu gets embarrassed when people call her Lady Ganyu.
Is that what it is? Noted. So, you came looking for Master today because you wanted to ask her about the mystery adeptus. Is that right?
I thought it was Shinha at first. I don't think it was Shinha. It's probably Ganyu. I don't know. The way Ganyu's been acting, it's been a bit
Have you
weird.
ever heard any music while out training in the mountains?
Music? What is that?
It's a kind of a happy or relaxing sound, or a nerve-wracking sound, or even a terrifying one.
Okay, I'm done. I also left her a note so that she knows where to find us. We won't miss her again.
Yay! That's really helpful. Thanks!
We were just talking about this thing called music, and based on Paimon's description, I do believe I hear it every day. Please follow me.
Oh, really? Great, let's go!
Her description isn't much to go off on, so I'm willing to bet that this is going to be something funny.
This is the place. I enjoy training here to the sound of music.
Is there no music?
Paimon's gone deaf! Paimon can't hear anything!
My condolences,
Oh,
Paimon.
whew. Paimon hasn't gone deaf after all! Paimon heard you when you just spoke. Anyway, where is this music?
The faint sound of birdsong, the quiet murmur of the streams. These are relaxing sounds. Are they not the
I knew
music
it.
of which you speak?
I know it.
Oh, Paimon wasn't quite done with the description.
That's on you, Paimon.
Okay, fine. It's all Paimon's fault. What
I
we're
knew
looking
it.
for are not the sounds of nature, but melodies played on special instruments.
Oh, and a melody is?
On you, why don't you sing that folk song you used to sing to Clues?
Hey, why don't you just sing that one melody Shen has heard before? It'll probably help her to understand what we're talking about.
Cross this won't attract any whopper flowers. What? Bro, what? Let's go! Risen up Ganyu though.
Was that from the opera that Yunjin sang?
That was a melody, and melodies can be called music.
It felt like I was transported back to the past. In my mind's eye, I could see the Zhao lanterns lighting up the night sky again. We're all there, raising our glasses and drinking to our heart's content on the Jade Chamber. As I watched Yunjin's
fricketry.
performance, I felt a warm sensation in my heart. And as the drink reached my stomach, it went from warm to hot. When you hummed that melody just now, feelings from a whole year ago came right back to me, as strong as they were on that day. Huh. So that's the power of music.
Wow, Shenhe. That was so deep!
So we know it's not her.
Music definitely has the power to bring up memories.
Good Ganyu,
It's
man.
like a time capsule with all the special moments from our lives squished inside. What about you, Ganyu? Are there any melodies that have left a deep impression on you?
I don't remember if my parents ever sang any lullabies to me. I know some local folk songs, and a few other things come to mind too. The songs of the sailors down at the docks, the little ditties that the vendors call out in front of their beloved shops, the tunes of folk artists performing on the streets.
Oh, the sounds
Yes,
of Lily
that's
Harbor.
right. In the past, whenever I heard the sound of those tunes, I always felt that they were worlds apart from me. Nenny and Liyue probably view me as a non-human. And they are right, in the sense that I never could connect with humans' artistic expression and their sentiments. So I haven't been able to integrate into their community and be a part of their lives. At least, that's the view I held in the past. Only more recently did I start to realize that the only barriers are ones that I have erected with my imagination. The way those melodies make me feel isn't all that different from other people after all. They're about mundane details of everyday existence. Life's ups and downs, joys and sorrows. Even though we come from different backgrounds and have different stories to tell, when it comes down to the most common things that we see and experience around us each day in the city,
She gonna eat that
in that
cheese
sense, we're all the same.
You go, Ganyu! You're really making progress. You have loads of friends in Liyue Harbor when you think about it. Like, okay, maybe some are more like coworkers and bosses. But at the very least, Keqing and Shenhe are your friends now, right?
Yes, I am.
Let's go!
Technically speaking, we should refer to each other by the conventional forms of address used among fellow disciples. But now that I know what constitutes a friendship, I do believe we are more friends than co-disciples.
Let's go. I'm so
Thank
happy
you,
for Shinha.
everyone.
And Ganyu. I'm happy for both of them.
Once the days are warmer, I would like to host you at my home in the city. Please invite Keqing as well. I've planted many types of flowers. I'm sure some of them will be to your taste.
You are too kind. I couldn't possibly.
Nonsense. You are my friend.
Let's go.
I have cultivated
happy
and
for
cared
Shinha.
for the flowers just as you taught me. Once you've seen them for yourself, I am sure you can advise me how to do an even better job next time. I will save some for decoration. We can feast on the rest.
Then, thank you in advance. Wait, what is that saying again? If you insist?
I'm smiling right now.
Do people say that? I'm not completely sure either.
Why is this wholesome?
Doesn't matter, okay? You got the point across. No need to split hairs. Paimon's more concerned about your idea of a girls' night out. Eating flowers? Really? Does this have anything to do with you both being the disciples of that illuminated bird?
I doubt Keqing will be munching on any flowers.
Who dares refer to one not by one's adeptus title, but merely as that illuminated bird?
Shit.
Master,
Oh, it's over.
Our greetings, Cloud Retainer.
Ah! There it is! The illuminated bird has landed!
Double humph. Now she has
Double
the goal
humph.
to use it rather than she, even after being chastised once already. Huh. Barely a moment has passed since we last met, and yet your impertinence has reached new heights. Very well. If you refuse to learn your lesson, one shall scold you no further. One has received your message from Ganyu. On the matter of the adeptus you seek, one suspects to know their identity. Well, shall one lead the way?
Yes, please,
I
Cloud
still have
Retainer.
to complete my training for today, so I will bid farewell to everyone here.
Alright, bet.
Very well. await my arrival at one's abode later this night. On this special occasion, you should indulge yourself with some savory dishes.
Happy Lantern Rite, huh?
If you want to release a Shao Lantern, come and find us anytime.
Thank you, everyone. Happy Lantern Rite to you too.
You can definitely tell her speech has gotten better. She's humming. Love to see it. I'm happy for Shinha.
Is this Quaily Plains?
Heck yeah.
Cloud Retainer, why did you bring us here?
Ganyu is of course familiar with the name Guizhong, but have you ever heard of her?
I've definitely heard it somewhere.
Guizhong is another name of Agentus, the god of dust. She was extroverted in nature and adored social gatherings and inventions alike. Long ago, this region was yet a prosperous assembly. Guizhong often invited her friends to visit her home, reserving for us seats around the largest stone table. Sea Gazer would always bring out his latest treasure and place it upon the table. He could be quite the braggart. Though usually a mild-mannered fellow, when it came to those collectibles he was so fond of, he always loved to show them off.
Paimon remembers that name. So that's what Sea Gazer was like.
He was an old friend and a former rival. One has many memories of him. Once he had brought out the treasure, it would predictably become the center of attention. Neither Guizhong nor one was content to let him just steal the spotlight. So we would then also present our proudest mechanical creations. As Adepti, we were each gifted in our own ways, and naturally proud of our accomplishments in our respective fields of expertise. As a result, one often quarreled with Sea Gazer.
Look at dragons behind
His
the background. It's so
treasures
cool.
were not even of his own making. He just used his exploration skills to dig them out of the ground. How, pray tell, could he compare to me, when every single one of one's accomplishments were crafted by one's own hand?
Cloud Retainer, you are getting competitive again.
One digresses. Regardless, every time an argument occurred, Guizhong would come over to watch us during our mutual lambastics. On some occasions, she would join in, and on others, she'd take one of us by the limb and start uttering the most ridiculous nonsense.
What kind of nonsense?
No kind of nonsense were we spared. Sometimes she would brazenly opine, why argue between yourselves when neither of you could ever hope to beat me? Other times, she would make unsolicited suggestions, such as, once you two are done arguing, let's go to the foot of the mountain and grill some meat. She always sought to make everyone happy, and one must say, she had quite the gift for it. No matter what nonsense she said, one never felt bothered or offended. It also helped that she never referred to one as that illuminated bird or lady bird.
Yo, she got grudges, bro.
Come on, get over yourself!
Anyway, just as our impassioned arguments would reach the apex of acrimony, Marchosius would bring his delectable dishes to the table.
That's a sick name.
Who would
I'll have to
dare
write that
snub
down.
the stove god and his wondrous creations? At the sight of him, we would all immediately drop the argument and prepare the table for a night of feasting and drinking. Back then, one was always bothered by how the cups Rex Lapis brought were always too square for one's taste. Can you see yourselves ever enjoying a drink from a square cup?
That does sound annoying.
Precisely. So, as you can see, Even one as great as Rex Lapis was not immune to making the occasional blunder. Even one
Jean
could
just
never
pulls up
find
right now.
fault with Marchosius's cooking.
Marchosius.
As we ate, Guizhong would continue to find topics for conversation, filling the table with humor and laughter. Each of those old fossils had their character flaws and points of obstinacy. So why was it that whenever we dined together, we always had a marvelous time? We would drink together from a spot high in the mountains until the moon set and the sun rose, and only then would the banquet finally come to an end. Streetwood Rambler would often remain to admire the flowers with Guizhong before returning to her own abode. The glaze lilies were far more abundant back then. Entire fields of them would appear to the eye as a veritable sea of flowers.
Streetward Rambler?
That's what I was
That would be
thinking.
Ping. You probably know her as Madam Ping.
What?
Oh, okay.
Yo, why is her name so
Wait,
sick?
this is a lovely story and everything, but didn't we come here to find that adeptus from Mr. Dvorak's story? Or are you saying that it was Guizhong? Didn't she,
Bro, it's just gone.
already-
It has to be.
Alas, long has one avoided this place for precisely that reason. The sights here are a reminder of a time long gone, and evoke much sorrow. One should have guessed that you would disrupt one's poignant moment of mourning with your incessant questioning.
He's
No
grown into
matter,
Paimon.
one
Good.
will share the whole story with you now.
She keeps ruining my Rizz. On you.
In times gone by, one quarreled oft with Guizhong concerning mechanical principles. We each had our ideals, and neither would yield. Under
Oh,
the
there's
pretext
my
of a
boy.
social gathering, one invited the
Is that Xiao?
impartial
Did he have
Rex
long
Lapis
hair?
to judge the quality of our creations. But Rex Lapis
The
declared that
drip.
Guizhong's obscuro vulpus mechanism was superior,
Oh, it's not.
though one was
Looks like
too
Xiao's-
proud to acknowledge it. In one's
Yo.
heart, one knew that Guizhong was indeed the superior talent in the mechanical arts. As for the story between Guizhong and Streetward Rambler, that begins with a certain bell. In Guizhong's opinion, while mechanisms were no substitute for human composers, they were yet capable of producing simple but fine melodies. But Streetward Rambler believed music to be an expression of the soul.
So that's
An
Madam
emotional
Ping.
enterprise that could never hope
Everybody
to
thought
be
we were gonna get
replicated
her.
by machinery. They argued endlessly until one asked Rex Lapis to intercede. He confiscated the bell and designated it for ceremonial use. Thereafter, one would often find them convening in the mountains, discussing music, mechanics, and all the affairs of the mortal world. But these good times were not to last. War broke out between the gods, and soon engulfed the Guili plains. Guizhong was overpowered by the enemy, and fell in battle. When Streetwood Rambler and I arrived at the scene at long last, all that remained among the ruins
So she's just always been
was
a
her
bird.
lifeless body. After this, at
Jean
Streetwood
Louis with
Rambler's
the-
request, Rex Lapis granted her the cleansing bell for safekeeping. To honor our friend's memory, one made a few finishing touches to her ballistic device. Many Lantern Rites have passed since then. Many greetings and goodbyes.
They never disappoint with these cutscenes, man.
Upon what do you gaze? The Guili Plains?
No. It's everything. We think of human life as like a lantern that's lit one minute and extinguished the next.
It's the same VA,
But
she's
are
just
we
not doing an
adeptus
old
or different?
voice.
Perhaps as dust settles after a storm, we too must one day return to the world below.
One has always been austere and private by nature. and has never relished socializing. One's dealings with Guizhong were born out of discussions on the discipline of mechanics.
What? You have loads of friends, and you seem pretty chatty.
Just because one is not ignorant of social graces does not mean one is fond of them. One is perfectly capable of partaking in conversation despite being introverted.
Facts. Facts. I really
But in the
Cloud
end,
Retainer.
one is nothing like Streetward Rambler. She is dauntless but thoughtful, not to mention
Her name
eloquent
is sick.
and wise. Moreover, her friendship with Guizhong was far greater than one's own. Back when they were rivals, they would often compete against one another in the realm of musical composition. That cleansing bell was one of Guizhong's proudest works, having the ability to both compose and perform.
Wait, that's weird. Didn't Madame Ping say she pestered an old friend for that bell? And she also said something about being a vain beauty when she was young or something.
Streetward Rambler, a vain beauty. My foot.
What? Yo.
That bell has a sad history. Clearly, she refrained from sharing with you the truth of its origins, since the right time had not yet come. As for her old friend, who else could it be? As soon as Streetward Rambler heard that a certain Zhang Li wished to borrow the bell, she realized that the man was none other than Rex Lapis, and that he had made an enormous decision.
What if Ganyu just didn't know? Hold
After
on.
all, we all have known each other for several millennia. Some things between us are implicitly understood.
What if Ganyu just didn't know that Zhongli was Rex?
Wow. So they were talking in secret code? Oh, Paimon did not
That's a
see
lore
that one
drop on the
coming.
whole leeway. Hold on.
Enough of your intrusions. Where was one up to? Ah, yes. One remembers now. The cleansing bell is powered by a mechanical art, and can be used to great effect as an accompanying instrument. After the passing of its creator, it was used on numerous occasions during rites of parting. But Streetward Rambler did not acquire it from Rex Lapis for the purpose of producing further funerary tunes. No. Each time she rang it, it was to play the tune that Guizhong composed on it. The two once clashed over their beliefs about the meaning of music. Who would have thought that with Guizhong's passing and Streetward Rambler's mourning, two tunes composed in discord would eventually become one harmonious composition? Once upon a time, Streetward Rambler also loved gatherings, liquor, and music. But after Guizhong passed, she preferred her own company. She could often be found sitting alone at a mountain summit, contemplating and reminiscing with her zither. The music would go from mournful to soothing to impassioned. Many years passed before she finally composed a melody to her satisfaction. In celebration, she played the tune to the clouds. Regrettably, one has only ever heard her play that tune once. Which brings one back to the matter you've been investigating. Perhaps it was during that performance that the ancestor of your Fontaine friend fell into the water and was saved by Streetward Rambler.
Okay, so maybe it was her.
If she was so happy
I don't know,
with
the way that
melody,
Ganyu was acting
why
about
did
it was
she
super
only play
weird.
it once?
One was also greatly perplexed by this. After suppressing one's curiosity for a long while, one finally approached her and asked why she would retire the tune after having spent so long on it. In response, she said, "Though the strings that played that melody survive, the one who inspired it is gone. Tell me, Cloud Retainer, when the one attuned to my soul is no longer here, Who else could hope to understand this tune?
Aw, poor Madam Ping.
I just remember being taken care of by you when I was young. Once the Archon War came to an end, I stayed behind in Liyue Harbor to honor my contract. Although I met Guizhong a few times, I never knew anything of this particular story.
Guizhong was quite the visionary, but tragically passed before her time. Her manuscripts still lie unfinished in the realm of clouds. Blank pages give one cause for contemplation on what might have been. Had you not decided to search for that mystery adeptus, perhaps these stories, too, would have been lost to the sands of time. As of now, you know the truth. That the adeptus who rescued the drowning man was none other than Streetwood Rambler. Do you intend to discuss this with her?
Probably.
Do you mean Ping might find the topic too distressing?
Precisely. The passing of our old friend is a heavy topic that both of us are usually careful to avoid.
If I may be so bold, Cloud Retainer, could it be that this is just your own personal opinion?
Oh? How so?
I've been in Liyue Harbor for quite a long time now, and I've witnessed many farewells along the way, so I too am well acquainted with the pain of the passing of a loved one. But this doesn't bring the city or its people to a standstill. They have to keep moving forward. Someone as perceptive and wise as Ping will surely have come to understand and embrace this. Though these immortal mountains have lost an adeptus, the harbor of mortals has gained a wise elder. No loss can ever be undone, but there is always much that can still be gained. Ping has helped countless people, and will guide many others in the years to come. And all to whom she extends a helping hand become her friends. People she can admire flowers and discuss music with. Though it is heartbreaking to lose a kindred spirit, life goes on, because there are new friends waiting for you further down the road.
Ganyu's right.
We even asked Madam Ping what she thought about adding a music festival to this year's Lantern Rite. When we get back, why don't we just ask her if she'd like to perform? Maybe we can even get her up on stage.
You youngsters and your imaginations.
Why don't you come with us? It's been a long time since you last spoke with Ping, and Liyue Harbor is always decorated so beautifully during the festival period.
Is not every Lantern Rite the same in this
Beautiful as
regard?
Ganyu.
Were
Got
there
him.
anything new to discuss? One in pink could mean any day of the year.
I disagree. Each new day and each new year is different from those that have come before. How long will you simply let them pass you by?
If nothing else, do it for Ganyu.
The edibles she brought this time were indeed quite delectable.
She said edibles, bro. I'm dead.
Very well.
Let's go, W. Good job,
Then
Ganyu.
one will be off. If the other old fossils have sneaked away into the city to amuse themselves, one shall soon find out.
All right. We should be getting back to the harbor as well. We don't want to keep her waiting.
Yep.
Once the Guili Assembly, now the Guili Plains. Say, if we planted flowers there and cared for them carefully enough, do you think that one day we'd be able to recreate the sea of glaze lilies?
Allow one to take back one's praise from a moment prior. You are still far too given to flights of fancy, child.
What? Cloud Retainer? You were still listening?
One observed that you were making no effort to leave, and returned to chasten and hasten you. This time, one is departing in earnest.
Dang, bruh.